grab the inventory by using the iOS device. So I'm assuming that the app is already installed, that you've already logged in once before. The Bluetooth barcode scanner is paired. You can see on the top right hand corner the symbol. So I'm ready to start. So I'm going to log in with the username and password that was supplied to me. I have to make sure I select the proper warehouse or location, and then I log in. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my settings and make sure that all my settings are ready. This is a one-time thing that we do at the beginning, because I'm starting. I'm going to make sure that if I'm starting inventory, I want to hit start inventory at the top, which basically just deletes all my previous inventory. So we don't want to do that in the middle of a count, obviously. I'm going to make sure my Bluetooth scanner connection is enabled. Audio for scan is always a good one to have. We have a few options when it comes to the location. We can do clear location after scan, which means that we're actually forced to capture a bin location. Not forced, but it will prompt us to capture every time, and we have a mandatory location will force us. So I will turn that on for the first part of the demo, and then I'll turn it off. We have a few other functionality like a container ID and slab ID, which I'll cover in a different video. I also want to make sure that in my sync, this is where I get the information to come, because the information is hosted locally. I want to make sure that my auto sync on logged in is turned on. What that means is that every time I log in, I'll get a fresh copy of the database that has been sent to the cloud. If I'm not sure if I have it on or not, I can just hit sync INV master, and very quickly it'll actually get all my inventory master information. So the idea is that all the inventory is local to the iPad, so that while I'm scanning, I don't need to make an internet call every time to get my information, so it makes it very fast. So let's go and scan our first inventory. So I go to inventory, inventory count. As I said in my settings, I want to make sure Bluetooth scanner and audio for scan is done, and I'm ready. So in this case here, because in my settings I said that I need to clear the location after each scan, and I wanted to have a mandatory location, the first part of the count is going to force me to have a location. So the first thing I have to do is I have to scan the location, and now I have to scan the item number. As soon as I scan the item number, what it does is it'll actually show me the description and the part number for the item, and then I can enter the quantity that I physically count and hit accept. So once I do that, it shows me that the item has been accepted. If I look on the right hand corner where it says scan, I can see that I have a scan, and here I actually can see exactly what I just scanned with my location and everything else. If I make a mistake, all I have to do is swipe from left to right, from right to left, and hit delete. And then I need to scan it again. I also have the option to delete everything if I'm just practicing. So let's go back again, because I have my mandatory location. I have to scan my location, and I'm going to scan my item. I'm going to enter my quantity, and I'm going to hit accept. Then I'm going to go to my next location, and I'm going to scan the item, and I'm going to put in the quantity again and hit accept. So in this case, because I've scanned this item before, it's actually totaled them up and popped up with a window that shows me that I've scanned them both, and it actually goes yellow, and there's a specific sound to it that you can't hear right now. Let's go to another item, and another, and then again I enter a location. So basically what I've been doing since I started is that because I'm forced to enter a location, I've captured, I want to show you what I have here. I've captured a few items. Each one shows me the warehouse, the location, the quantity, everything that I've scanned to date. If I want to move on to a different shelf, I recommend we just send that by clicking on the send little word on the top right hand corner. That will send it to my server so that it gets combined with the other scan from all the other people scanning, and then the office can start reconciling the counts. I'm going to change the settings now to remove my location. So let's assume we don't need the locations. And now I'm counting items that are a little bigger, that I don't want to have to count every single one. I want to be able to scan every single one. So I have an option at the top, a little toggle box that says auto. What the auto does is it allows me to scan an item, and as soon as I scan the item, it adds it to the count with a count of 1. If I scan this item again, it'll increment the count 2, 3, and so on. If I scan another item, it'll actually go green, so it shows me that I haven't scanned that item before. So it's just a little visual check to make sure that we're scanning the right thing. Again, I can go to scan. Here, if I want to find something, if I'm not sure if I scan it or not, I can tap on the word sort by, and I have a lot of options to either filter the warehouse, to sort ascending or descending, and what I want to sort by. By default, it's going to scan it by the scan order, so that we know that the item that we scan is always at the top, but that can be changed if necessary. So I'm going to show you a few other things here. So the scan part is fairly simple. There is a little counter that just shows us how many scans we have, just to help to make sure that we're keeping the sequence. If I don't have a barcode on the product, I can type the item number. I'm going to turn off auto Bluetooth just to illustrate that point. If I type the item number and I hit search, what it does, it shows me the item, and now again I can put in my quantity and hit accept. So in this case I knew the part number, so I was able to do that. If I don't even know the part number, I can click on description. If I know some part of the part number, I would say by code, and let's say I'm looking for anything that has 5,000 in the code. So now I can see all my items. Some items I'm not able to see the whole code because of the size of the screen. What I can do is just tap and hold. For example, I tapped and hold on the one that says King's 5000 series desk. So now I can see not only the full part number, but also the full description and the unit of measure. So if this is the item that I'm selecting, all I have to do is back, and now it's going to find the item. I still have to hit search to make sure that it captures it, and then I put in my quantity and hit accept to add it to my count. If I wasn't sure of the part number at all, but I knew the description, I could, for example, say I'm looking for something that has the word pedestal, and as soon as I start typing it again, it narrows down my choice of options to just the items that fit the criteria anywhere within the name. And again, I can just tap on it and hold it to see more information, and if it's good, I just highlight it, hit back, and complete the search by hitting search, enter my quantity, and hit accept. So that really covers most of what you need to do on an inventory. The key is to find out whether your inventory should be lot numbered or not lot numbered, and whether you're going to be capturing the location or not. If the inventory is lot numbered or serialized, one of the things that will happen automatically is that as soon as you scan an item, instead of going into the quantity field, it'll actually go into the serial number field, so that you can scan the serial number and then you can enter a quantity. If your quantity is represented with a barcode, you can actually scan the barcode and it'll automatically add it on to the count, because the scanner actually sends a carriage return after each scan. If you have lot numbers that have expiry dates, you have the option to tap on the word expiry date and select the actual expiry date, and just once you accept it, it puts the expiry date. If you do have expiry dates as a barcode, then there is a setting to turn off the selector and then just scan the barcode. This is a little more advanced, and we can go into it when we do the actual training. But this basically shows you everything that has to do with inventory, and the key is to just make sure we accept everything that we count. And every so often, I usually recommend at the end of any logical spot in the warehouse, at the end of a rack or at the end of an aisle, just send the information back to the server, so that all the counts get sent back to the server, and it can be combined with the counts from all the other counters and then reviewed on the desktop. So that's it for the actual process of inventory scanning on the iPad.